President Buhari calls for understanding and cooperation of Nigerians as he observes Eid prayers in Daura. Sultan of Sokoto, in his Salam message, also lends his voice in urging Nigerians to work towards building a better Nigeria. Plus, need for peaceful coexistence among Nigerians highlighted in commemoration of Eid el-Kabir. Hello everyone, this is Panorama reaching you live from the NTA Enugu Network Center. I am Chinenye Nui. Remember, you can follow this newscast live on our website at www.nta.ng/live and on all our social media platforms displayed on your screen for updates. The Muslim faithful across Nigeria this Saturday joined their counterparts the world over to commemorate Eid el-Kabir, as referred to as the Feast of Sacrifice. President Muhammadu Buhari was amongst those that observed the 2 rakat congregational prayers of Thanksgiving at Kofa Arewa Eid Ground, Daura, Katsina State. The president called for understanding and cooperation of Nigerians as efforts are sustained towards achieving a prosperous and sustainable future for the country. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari arrives the Kofa Arewa Eid ground in the heart of Daura for the congregational Eid prayers. The 2 rakat prayer of thanksgiving to Allah was led by Imam Safiyanu Yusuf Dansanwai.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Indeed, Allah is the greatest, as his enormous blessings to mankind can never be quantified. No wonder then, the presiding Imam in a khutbah shortly after admonished the Ummah to remain prayerful, thankful, and indeed much more submissive to the Creator, no matter the circumstances. Their trust in the Almighty, he insists, must never be compromised, while keeping alive the virtues of sacrifice, obedience, justice, tolerance, love for one another, and care for those in need. He also made a strong case for the faithful and indeed Nigerians to be peaceful, purposeful, and supportive of government efforts at effectively addressing their concerns for a prosperous Nigeria. Special prayers were offered to Allah to continually guide, protect, and grant President Muhammadu Buhari the wisdom desired to bequeath for Nigeria lasting legacies for posterity. The Emir of Daura, Umar Faruk Umar, was emphatic that even the most partisan in Nigeria cannot deny the fact that President Buhari is one phenomenal in the nation's political history who has risen to the challenge of personal example. He said Daura, and indeed the entire country, can attest to his selflessness in service and the milestones achieved in critical sectors of the economy, praying Allah to reward him abundantly. Before leaving the Eid ground, President Buhari performed the symbolic ram slaughtering in line with the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad. This is the last time President Muhammadu Buhari will be observing the Feast of Sacrifice in Daura as head of state, and therefore Daurawa, both the young and the old from all walks of life, lined up the streets to show solidarity and indeed be part of history. It was a long walk by the president in his characteristic manner of showing appreciation and respect for the deserved. Speaking to newsmen shortly after, the president promised to make every day count in addressing public concerns in the last lap of his administration.
Firstly, we hope that the rainy season will be good and our people will be productive in terms of producing the food we eat. Look at when we closed our borders for about 2 years. A lot of people had gone back to the land and they haven't regretted it. We are now feeding ourselves and some rice is being exported. My advice is that the people that are organizing themselves and attacking institutions and so on, they know them, let them report them to the security agencies. We want peace so that we can make progress, real progress. This is my objective, and I am achieving it. My only problem is that there are still people who really benefit from killing other people and stealing and so on.
What message do you have for them?
Well, I hope they will sit and reflect and make sure that they save their names and the names of their families.
The Eid al-Kabir celebration continues nationwide. From Daura, Katsina State, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, has called on Nigerians to eschew political differences and work towards electing credible leaders that will build a better Nigeria. The monarch made the call in his Eid al-Kabir message to Nigerians. Sheikh Muhammad Dati completes the report.
The Sultan emphasized on the need for all Nigerians to consider the nation first before any other thing. He described the month of Zulhijjah as a blessing, urging Muslims to pray fervently for the nation to overcome its challenges. Speaking about the forthcoming 2020 regional election, Sultan Muhammad Saad cautioned politicians to play safe and put aside politics of bitterness, urging youths not to allow themselves to be used as political thugs. He reminded politicians that God gives leadership to who he wants, regardless of his background. The Sultan lauded the effort of the Sokoto State government for helping the needy, orphans, and the less privileged persons with sacrificial animals. He called on the authorities concerned to do the needful with a view to bringing an end to the security challenges in the nation. The Sultan prayed Allah to accept the acts of worship by all pilgrims and for a bumper harvest this cropping year. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has congratulated the Muslim faithful on the occasion of Eid al-Kabir celebration, wishing all Nigerians love, joy, peace, and prosperity. Governor Ugwuanyi prayed for God's boundless grace and favor upon all Nigerians, stating that the solemn festival of Eid al-Kabir is anchored on love and sacrifice that comes with peace, unity, and fulfillment, which the country needs to forge ahead. The governor prayed for God's protection, unceasing goodness, and mercy upon Nigerians in their individual and collective endeavors. He therefore wished the Muslim faithful, and indeed all Nigerians, a pleasant and safe Eid al-Kabir celebration, urging them to rededicate themselves to God and continue to pray fervently for the peace, unity, security, and progress of the nation. And still in the spirit of Eid al-Adha celebration, more vulnerable Nigerians are receiving different food items and portions of animal sacrifice from the Qatar Charity Center as recommended by Islam. Hundreds of beneficiaries across different communities within the nation's capital went home with enduring smiles. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
These are scores of needy queuing up for their own allocation of the food items prepared to bless their tables on a day sacrifice means everything to the giver.
My only Sunday prayer for them. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, they have tried a lot. May God bless them and reward them.
They can have more than this if they don't want to help. Nobody can hold them. I really appreciate. Then may Allah reward them abundantly.
We thank Qatar Charity for this gift. May Allah reward them for the gifts that they give us. Alhamdulillah.
Qatar Charity Center is fulfilled not because it identifies with the have-nots, but because it felt the purse of having nothing on a day everyone should have surplus.
You see the widows and the orphans, they are going home, they're smiling because of these packages. Just make them feel the taste of belongingness that today is as Eid al-Adha and everybody is being carried along.
The center is also reaching out to thousands of Muslim population across various states of the Federation with portion of animal sacrifice in fulfillment of the feast of Eid al-Adha. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
We will take a break here. Panorama continues in a moment. Do stay.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Welcome back. Peace is a fundamental component for the growth and survival of any democratic society. In spite of the interlapping functions and diverse religious and multicultural nature of Nigeria, somewhere lies the inalienable need for peaceful coexistence in Nigeria. Mina Adobe Kobase reports.
Resonating from the Eid ground in Enugu State, a commemoration of Eid al-Kabir is the need to sustain peaceful coexistence amongst different religious groups in Nigeria. Respondents are of the view that the onus lies with religious leaders to ensure peace and peaceful coexistence amongst faithfuls.
This is a feast of sacrifice. We use it to pray for Nigeria. You know, in Nigeria now, there is a lot of crisis.
The religious groups, especially the leaders, the imams, the priests, the bishops, what have you, they should be able to tell their words, their followers, their congregation, the truth.
With the elections around the corner, some religious leaders have used the Eid celebration to call on Nigerians to conduct themselves peacefully, even as they choose their next set of leaders, irrespective of tribe or religious inclinations.
The election is coming. We want the youth, the old, the women, the children, everybody to maintain peace so that we can elect a good government.
Peaceful coexistence as an essential ingredient that drives sustainable development, respondents say, must be guarded jealously, and it is a task which must be accomplished.
We need to be prayerful because of the security and the way the country is going. We need God intervention.
I'm a Muslim today, so we do everything together. As I'm talking to you now, I have pagan in my house, I have Christian in my house, waiting to me to come and celebrate with them.
It is a general view of respondents that religious leaders and institutions must mediate and serve as communication links and promote peaceful coexistence amongst religious groups in the country. In Enugu, Mina Adobe NTA News.
And that report forms our background for discussion today on Panorama. And with me in the studio to expand the discourse is Alhaji Bala Ado. He is the Special Assistant to the Enugu State Governor on Northern Relations and member of the Enugu State Security and Peace Committee. Sir, you're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. So, peace, no doubt, is the fundamental component of growth and development of any society. What do you think would happen when Nigerians coexist and live peacefully?
Fellow Nigerians, Assalamu alaikum. I use this season of Eid Abuja to congratulate the Muslim faithful in Nigeria and of course our Christian brothers for this occasion that God has granted us the spirit and the life to witness. Peace is a fundamental component of every society. Without peace, I that is seated here in this studio, I cannot be here. It's peace that brought about this discussion. So peace is fundamental in every society, whether it is a religious society, whether it is a community, whether it's whatever you want to call it. Peace is very, very fundamental. That is why in everything one will do, as whether you are a religious leader, whether you are a political leader, whether you are whatever you want to call yourself, if peace is not fundamental in what you are doing, then there is nothing that will grow, there is nothing that will go on, there is nothing that will develop, there is nothing that will flow. So peace is very, very fundamental.
Okay, thanks. Okay, sir. During such occasions as Eid al-Kabir, Nigerians are often reminded to demonstrate love to their neighbors. Why?
Yes, because that's reflection. It is a time that Islam find it very, very important to remind the Muslim faithfuls of those that are in need. So while sacrificing, while making that slaughter of a ram, or while feeding your own family, while giving them what they will eat, remember that your next neighbor has nothing to give to his family. So it is a time that you now reflect and see that there is need for you to share in whatever thing you have for a peaceful coexistence. Because if I have a ram today and I slaughter and my neighbor is not having the means, the means to buy a ram or to buy food to feed his family, and I'm eating, my children are eating, it would kind of build a kind of a relationship that is not good. But by the time I extend to the extended family or I extend to the neighbors, they will now feel that yes, that this person is caring, that this person knows the importance of having his neighbors or his extended family, and it gives a kind of love and build relationship between people, between community, between families, and between societies.
Okay, sir, talking about religions now, I know that Islam and Christianity are two religions that preach religious tolerance.
Yes.
Yeah. How can religious leaders help in ensuring interfaith dialogue and harmony?
Well, the fundamental basis for any religious organization is to promote peace, because God is peace. That's why we have Christianity, we have Islam, we have Judaism. All these ones pray to God. All of them mention God. But how you now have your access to God is where you have little differences. But all of us mention God in whatever we are doing, and we know that God is peace. If as a religious leader, I cannot stand before my congregation and teach them tolerance and teach them peace and teach them love, then I don't think I'm worthy to be a priest, or I'm not worthy, I don't think I'm worthy to be an imam or whatever. So the religious leaders have the honest responsibility to preach peace among their followers, because in Nigeria we are very, very religious people. We respect religion. We worship God very well. So if the imams and the priests are not preaching peace on how to love each other, then I don't think we will have a society to live in. So it is very, very important that our religious leaders, I mean the imams, the priests, whatever you call yourself, peace is fundamental in your teachings of your followers.
Okay, so in many parts and states of the country, like in Enugu state, there is a close interaction between Muslims and Christians. You see them intermarry and everything. How can this be promoted?
Well, I thank God that I happen to be in Enugu state, because as a northerner and somebody that is living in Enugu state for over 20-something years now, I think I'm in a better position to tell people how to live, to coexist peacefully. Because in Enugu state, we have had a synergy between all the religious bodies, all the tribal bodies. We've had synergy, and this has promoted peace in Enugu state, because Enugu happens to be one of the most peaceful states you can. As Nigeria is today, Enugu state is the most peaceful, because when you hear of all these killings, all of whatever, yes, I don't say it doesn't. We have one or two instances like that in Enugu state, but as being frequently reported in other states, you can see that Enugu is the most peaceful, and I think this goes to show the kind of leadership we have in the states. Both the political leadership, the religious leadership, and the societal leadership. It has they've seen that peace is the most fundamental thing that will put people together. That's why we have this in Enugu. And I want to use this opportunity to call on other states of the Federation. At the Enugu State, we have what we call Enugu State Security and Peace Committee. And through this, you have the religious Khan is being represented, the northern communities are being represented, the Butchers Association, the cattle rearers, whatever, all the sectors of the society are being represented in that committee. And we sit to discuss peace in Enugu State, security issues in Enugu State every month. And that has fostered a good relationship in Enugu State. So if other states can borrow this leaf from Enugu State, I think it will go a long way in minimizing, at least to a larger extent, these issues of kidnappings, banditry, what have you.
Thank you so much, sir. So we'll leave it here for now. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on Panorama. I'll be speaking with Alhaji Bala Ado. He's the special assistant to the Enugu State Governor on Northern Relations. And moving on, the Federal Commissioner representing Enugu State at the National Population Commission, AGKSA, has applauded some stakeholders from the Enugu East Senatorial Zone on their readiness and preparedness to receive the enumerators for the trial census in their area. He was speaking at the advocacy and sensitization meeting with the people from that axis. Okechukwu Agubama reports.
Some stakeholders that come from the three local government within the Enugu East Senatorial District, the Federal Commissioner have on the need for adequate provision of security agencies that will guide and protect the enumerators sent to their areas for the trial census. He commended the leaders for their continuous support and readiness to receive the enumerators.
We're looking forward that we're going to have an accurate data for the nation to work with, because it's been difficult, very, very difficult for the past 60 years. You can't have any reliable data to work on. And you know, in planning, if you don't have verifiable data, accurate data, it's like somebody's grouping in darkness.
The Federal Commissioner added that the federal government has equipped the coordinators and enumerators with the new technological innovations for the trial census. Earlier, the enumerators, in abiding by the dictates of the assignment, pledged their allegiance by taking the oath of secrecy administered by the Chief Magistrate of Nike District. Also, the 104 enumerators will arrive at the three senatorial zones of the state on the 12th of July 2022 for the commencement of the trial census. In Enugu, Okechukwu Agubama, News.
National Youth Service Corps members in Enugu State have been advised to embrace the skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development program of the scheme so as to make themselves job creators on completion of their service year. Chairman, NYSC National Governing Board, gave the advice during a visit to the NYSC orientation camp in Enugu State. Chidi Okorafo reports.
National Governing Board of the NYS, while interacting with corps members currently in camp, noted that the skills acquisition and entrepreneurship development program SAE will make them to be self-reliant and champions of industries. Ambassador Fatima Bala Abubakar commended the corps members for keying into the skill acquisition program of the scheme and urged them to be security conscious. She, among other things, described the deplorable state of facilities at the orientation camp.
We started with the South and then we came into the South. We are glad to see that you and your coordinator and the zonal coordinator and all staff seem to be bonding very well.
Enugu State coordinator of the NYSC, Mr. Sam Ujob, described the corps members as unique, stressing that there is synergy at the orientation camp.
Highly motivated and ready to take part in all activities and are very compliant to the rules of the national governing camp.
Members, National Governing Board of the National Youth Service Corps are on a special tour of orientation camps nationwide. In Enugu, Chidi Okorafo, NTA News.
And up next is Sports Update with Cynthia Ogun.
Ahead of the final group game against the Swallows of Burundi, Super Falcons coach Randy Waldron has insisted that the present team representing Nigeria at the ongoing Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco is filled with lots of exceptional talents ready to do the country proud. Waldron, whose side has 3 points from 2 games, says he has been impressed with the team and expects more against the Burundians.
We got a lot of talent, so managing which ones are the best combinations to play up front, I would expect to see them, whether some start or they don't. That final decision hasn't been made yet.
The Super Falcons will face the Swallows of Burundi in a make-or-mar match on Sunday as they face off for who progresses into the next round. Still on football, Nigeria's midfielder Joe Aribo has been unveiled by Premiership side Southampton as their second signing of the summer transfer window for the club. The 25-year-old Nigerian made the move from Rangers after a successful 3 years at the club to join the Saints in a dream move. Aribo penned a 4-year deal for a whopping sum of 4.2 billion naira. Now to domestic football, 10 matches will be played Sunday with March Day 37 of the Nigeria Professional Football League. Akwa United will welcome Abia Warriors as Enyimba take on Dakada FC. Other games will see Gombe United take on Enugu Rangers as Plateau United go away to Katsina United. And finally, to tennis, Nick Kyrgios says he will be gunning for the ultimate glory when he faces Novak Djokovic in the Wimbledon men's finals on Sunday. Djokovic will be bidding for a 4th consecutive Wimbledon title and the 21st Grand Slam when he faces Nick, who will be aiming for his first major singles trophy. With Sports Update, Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
And that is it on Panorama from the NTA Enugu Network Center. We thank you so much for being a part of it. Remember to join the NTA as we stand against rape and rapists. I am Chinenye Uwe. Do have a lovely day.